Bienvenidos estudiantes a la clase de Español 2, capítulo 10, lección 3A. This is Spanish 2, chapter 10, lesson 3A. In today's lesson, we'll start off with some homework review, then we'll review John 4:34, our verse for this chapter together. Then we'll go through and review our countries, paying attention to flags, location on the map, and the capitals for each country. We'll do a little bit of review with our food vocabulary, some international dishes from Spanish-speaking countries. And then for grammar today, we're going to talk about the Nosotros Command form, or the softened command form. So we'll go through all of those things. Again, as always, make sure that your homework for today is done before you watch this video. Let's start then with our homework review. En el cuaderno, en página 178, actividad 1, page 178, activity 1, vocabulario. And remember, these are some suggested answers from the dishes that we've been talking about from countries all over the world, the Spanish-speaking countries. The directions say to complete each sentence with the name of a specialty from the country mentioned. And there are many. You can find those just for the sake of review in página 269 y 270, 269 and 270 in el libro has the list. And we are just drawing one of our answers, the one answer that we have here from that list. Número 1. Voy a Puerto Rico. I am going to Puerto Rico. Y voy a comer. I am going to eat. One possible answer that you could have there is arroz con pollo, rice with chicken. And of course, you could choose any of those dishes that are listed there for El Caribe or the Caribbean countries that are Spanish-speaking countries. Iré a México. I am going to go to Mexico para comer, in order to eat. One possible dish that we listed from Mexico was chilaquiles. Chilaquiles. Número 5. Voy a ir a Colombia. I am going to go to Colombia para comer, in order to eat. Papas chorreadas. Potatoes. Y número 7. Vamos al Caribe para probar. I am going to go to the Caribbean in order to try plátanos. Plantain. Plátanos. So I hope you had some good answers there. If you have any questions, let me know and we'll look over those. We'll go ahead and continue with our verse for today. Let's just say this verse together, and then we'll move on to our next item on the list. Juan 4:34. Jesús les dijo, mi comida es que haga la voluntad del que me envió y que acabe su obra. Juan 4:34. Jesus said to them, my food or my meat or my bread is to do the will of him who sent me, and that I do or I complete his work. Juan 4:34. ¿Cuál palabra nos falta aquí, clase? Dame la palabra en español, inglés, español. ¿Cuál palabra nos falta? La respuesta es voluntad, will, voluntad. Y aquí, acabe, complete, acabe. Y aquí, ¿cuál palabra nos falta? Haga, do, haga. Y aquí, ¿cuál palabra nos falta? Les, them, les. 5. La última, ¿cuál palabra nos falta? La respuesta es comida, food or meal, comida. Keep reviewing that verse. It'll be important when you get to the end of the chapter for you to be able to write that verse for the test. And again, just for the sake of review, we've been talking about the cities of Córdoba and Granada. If you haven't yet, make sure that you have watched the magnificent Mezquita. That's that great mosque that became a Catholic church in the city of Córdoba. Some really neat things there in my playlist. So make sure that you are checking out that little virtual field trip, I guess you could call it, just to see some of the details of that beautiful structure and some of the details from inside. All right, moving on to our country review. Remember, capitals, placement on the map, and flags. Banderas también. Okay, ¿cuál es la capital de Cuba, clase? Es La Habana. De Panamá es Panamá. De Chile es Santiago. De Uruguay es Montevideo. I hope you're trying to beat me before I show the city under the yellow box. Make sure that you're getting it before me. By now, you should be getting these very easily, guys. La capital de Paraguay es Asunción. La capital de Guatemala es Guatemala. Fácil. La capital de Honduras es Tegucigalpa. Del Salvador es San Salvador. La capital de Nicaragua es Managua, Nicaragua. La capital de Costa Rica es San José. Y las especialidades. En el libro, en página 268, this is a review. Remember, this is those two girls, Elena and Margarita, who are visiting Spain, and they're trying to determine what restaurant they want to go to and some of the different dishes that they want to try. Some of the terminology is given for you here in the margin, so make sure that you're paying attention to those terms. But listen and follow along and start breaking down some of the words that might be new to you. Make note of the new words, even as you listen to this diálogo.
Capítulo 10, lección 3. Las especialidades. Parte 1. Diálogo.
Follow along on page 268 of the textbook.
Elena y Margarita, dos estudiantes latinoamericanas, acaban de llegar a España para estudiar algunos cursos de verano. Mientras leen el periódico, encuentran un anuncio muy interesante.
Restaurante La Españolita. Descubra la gastronomía española. Más de 50 especialidades de todas las regiones de España.
Elena y Margarita piden direcciones para ir al restaurante y descubren que está a 2 cuadras del apartamento en donde viven.
¡Qué bien! Si vamos un par de veces cada semana, podremos probar muchos platos diferentes.
Sugiero que no vayamos más de una vez por semana. Tenemos que ahorrar nuestro dinero.
Está bien. Vamos a ver cómo es el restaurante.
Sugiero que leamos el anuncio primero. Veamos las comidas que anuncian. Paella valenciana, cocido madrileño, caldo gallego, fabada asturiana, gazpacho manchego, gazpacho andaluz.
Oye, hagámonos amigas de los dueños y así podremos preguntar sobre cada plato.
No sueñes tanto, Elena. Sugiero que hablemos con uno de los camareros. Quizás nos deje leer el menú sin cobrarnos.
¡Qué graciosa! Comamos ahí mañana.
No, sugiero que comamos allí hoy.
All right. Let's move on and review our vocabulario. These are some dishes that are specialties of particular countries. We've got España, Mexico, El Caribe. That would be Puerto Rico or Cuba. And then we have Nicaragua, Colombia, and Argentina, Uruguay. The food of Argentina y Uruguay son muy similares. Very similar foods in Argentina and Uruguay. So we've got those grouped together here. Make sure you're looking through those. Wouldn't be a bad idea to look up some of these plates, some of these dishes, and take a look at what some of them look like. If you haven't yet watched my playlist where I have several recipes, I tried to pick one from each country. Take some time and go to my Spanish 2 playlist and look through some of those videos. I think you'll find those very interesting, and maybe you might want to give one of those a try. See if maybe you've got some chef in you or something, and you can cook up some of these meals, maybe take care of your family one night for dinner. So anyway, here are our Spanish dishes. We talked about mate, which is that a lot like tea. It's the ground leaves of the yerba mate, kind of a bitter taste to it, but a lot of caffeine, so it's a really good pick-me-up for people that are looking for a substitute for coffee. You can get it here in the States, but it's more typical in South American countries, and they'll make their mate in a gourd sometimes and carry it around all day with them and just keep filling it up with water to get that flavor. The straw that is used, it acts both as a drinking instrument, but it also has a filter at the end to keep the leaves from going up into it. It's called a bombilla. It's a special type of straw that is both a straw and a filter for the yerba mate. So that's mate. All right, so today for our grammar, we're going to continue our conversation with the imperative form. That's the command form. The command form that we're going to talk about today is the nosotros form. And the nosotros form, think of it in English like we might say, let's pray. A lot of times when I open up Spanish class, I would say something like oramos. Oramos is the nosotros command form, and it would be let's pray. It's a suggestion for a group, including myself, including us, to do something. So it's really, your textbook calls it, you'll see right there at the top of página 271, 271, you'll see that they call this a softened request because it is kind of a command. Let's pray. But it's more of a suggestion. Let's eat. I'm hungry. Let's eat. Comamos. Let's eat. It's really very simple to form this conjugated form of the nosotros imperative, the command form. Remember the process. Escuchemos tu nuevo disco compacto. Let's listen to your new CD. Comamos una pizza. Let's eat a pizza. No salgamos todavía. Let's not leave yet. No volvamos demasiado tarde. Let's not return too late. Vamos al circo. Let's go to the circus. You'll notice the form there, and I hope you're catching and seeing how easy it is to form that. Again, what are we doing? We are building from the regular yo form, much like we did for the usted and the ustedes and the negative to command in our previous lessons. We form the imperative from the regular yo form. So, for escuchemos, our verb is escuchar with an AR. Escuchar, escucho, drop the O, escuch. Then we have AR, which switches to E. So the nosotros form is escuchemos. Let's listen. Notice here with salgamos how important it is that we do start with that yo form because the yo form of salir is irregular. Remember, the yo form of salir is going to be salgo. So then we drop the O from there. We're left with salg. Since it's an IR verb, we add A endings. And the nosotros form then is salgamos. No salgamos todavía. Let's not leave yet. So it's important to get to that yo form. You can see that process spread out for you right here for AR verbs, for ER verbs, and for IR verbs, right there in your book on page 271. How you form those. Don't forget the yo form. You see that right across the top, right there in that section. Canto, or cantar, to sing. To canto, I sing. Then we drop the O and we have cant. Then we add the opposite, cantemos. Let's sing. Cantemos. Let's sing a song. ER verbs. Correr, to run. Corro, I run. We drop the O. We're left with cor. Then we use the opposite ending. Sorry about that. We use the opposite ending of correr, which would be A's, and we get corramos. Let's run. Let's take a run together. The last one, an example of an IR verb, would be salir, and there's the one we talked about, right? The salgo, so we get salgo, then we drop the O, we get salg, and then because it's an IR verb, we use the opposite ending, which would be for the nosotros form, amos, salgamos. Okay, let's go. So it's just the opposite. Now, a couple of things that I wanted to point out. The AR and ER stem changing verbs follow the same pattern in the imperative. So if there is the stem change, it's still going to be there in this imperative form. What that means for AR and IR, and please notice this is for AR and ER verbs, verbs of the first conjugation and verbs of the second conjugation. Encontrar will not have a stem change in the nosotros form, which is not new to you. Because in the regular indicative, we don't have a stem change in the nosotros form. It's the same thing for entender, for ER verbs. Remember, no stem change in the nosotros form for the regular present indicative, no stem change for the nosotros form in the command either. Entendamos. It's that AMOS. There's no stem change. It would normally be an E to IE stem change for entender, entiendo, entiendes, entiende, but the nosotros entendemos in the indicative would become entendamos in the nosotros command form. Okay, and then backing up again, continuing, remember that for the IR stem change, it's going to be just a little bit different. IR stem changes in the nosotros command will get the first letter of the stem change. For sentir, it would become sintamos. Notice because it's an IR verb, we have the A ending, amos, and then we also have, this would typically be an E to IE stem change, but it's just going to go from E to I. So sentir to sintamos. Remember, this is IR verbs, guys. This is IR verbs, not AR and ER. For mentir, it's an IR verb, so we're going to get amos at the end. But because it's an IR verb, we are going to get the first letter of that stem change. What would normally be an E to IE stem changer, and the IR nosotros command is just going to be the first letter, which would be then mintamos. This one sounds kind of sinful, doesn't it? Mintamos, let's lie. Let's lie. Let's not lie. No mintamos, let's say the negative. No mintamos, let's not lie. Let's tell the truth. Probably a better bet here, right? Dormir, to sleep. Again, this is an IR verb. I hope you remember that typically it's an O to UE stem changer. Since it's the nosotros form and it's the command, we are going to use the first letter of the stem change. So in the nosotros command, instead of being an O to UE stem changer, it is just going to be an O to U stem change. Because it's an IR verb, we get amos, and because it's an O stem changer, we just get the U. So durmamos, let's sleep. I'm tired. I had enough Spanish for today. Durmamos, let's sleep. Morir is to die. Again, IR verb, amos, amos. Then because it's typically an O to UE stem changer, in the command form for the nosotros, it's just going to be an O to U stem change. Muramos. Let's say no miramos. Let's not die. No miramos. Let's not die. Right? Moving on then to the next section on your page. The affirmative nosotros command of ir is usually vamos. Okay, vamos, let's go. The negative command would be no vayamos. That's just kind of irregular, but it's how it works. For most of these, all of the ones that we've done so far, the affirmative command and the negative command are the same. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy, no trouble. But for ir, vamos, let's go, the negative is going to be a little bit different. Just keep you on your toes. No vayamos, let's not go. No vayamos. So look at the examples that we see here. Vamos al concierto, let's go to the concert. And then no vayamos al parque, let's not go to the park. All right, so you can see the affirmative command for vamos is a little bit different than the negative command no vayamos. All right? And then the last thing here on this page, if the affirmative nosotros command is reflexive, if it's reflexive, and that, remember, the reflexive construction is for when you are doing something to yourself or a part of yourself or for yourself. I comb my hair. No, I don't. I comb my hair. I brush my teeth. Yes, I do. I clean my glasses. I pick my nose. Whatever it is, if you are doing something for yourself or to a part of yourself, it is going to be a reflexive structure. We've talked a lot about that. But with the command form in the nosotros, if we are using that reflexive construction, we drop the S. Okay, so let's look at an example of that, because what in the world is Mr. Moore talking about? Get my big bald head out of the way. We're looking down here at these examples. Irse. Irse is to go out. Ir is to go, but we know that the reflexive irse is to go out or to leave. Okay, so we've got vamos, which we said was the affirmative. Vamos, let's go. Nos would be the reflexive pronoun for that, meaning let's get out of here. Notice how when we add that nos to the end of vamos, what did we lose? We lost that S, and it became vámonos. Vámonos. And that's all I'm saying. The S at the end of the regular conjugation, vamos, would drop before we add the nos. There's another example there for sentarse. We've got sentemos. If we add the nos onto the end of it, sentémonos, not sentémosnos. That S disappears and it becomes sentémonos. All right? Okay. Continuing. If verbs are irregular, and here these are, you remember, I hope you remember, these are the verbs that would typically, most of them, I'll say most of them, not all of them, unfortunately, but if it typically would end in the regular conjugation, the yo form is OY, then it's going to keep that irregular stem that we talked about in our previous lessons. So dar, just as a point of reference, the regular yo form would be doy, right? So since the regular yo form would be doy, we know we're not going to use it. So demos, no demos would be the correct conjugation for the nosotros imperative. Demos, let's give. No demos, let's not give. Estar, the regular form is what? The regular yo form? Estoy, right? Can't use it. That hoy is a reminder that we can't use that to build our nosotros command form. So instead of estoy, we're going to just memorize that the nosotros command, both affirmative and negative, is estemos, let's be or let's not be. Ir, no vayamos. You see the negative here. Can you remember from our previous slide? What is the affirmative command for ir? It's not vayamos. The negative is no vayamos. What's the affirmative command? If you said vamos, you're right, because vamos is the affirmative command for the nosotros form of ir. The negative is no vayamos. Okay, for saber, the affirmative and negative are the same. Sepamos, no sepamos. And for ser, seamos, no seamos. Okay? Now, all of that to say, there's also a little bit easier way to do it. You can also use vamos plus an infinitive. Vamos a plus an infinitive means the same thing. Let's do this. Let's say we want to say, let's eat. We could say comamos, let's eat. We could also just say, right here, vamos a comer, let's eat. And that works as the nosotros form as well. Vamos a cantar, let's sing. You could say cantemos, let's sing. But vamos a cantar, the infinitive is the same. Now keep in mind that this really works for the affirmative command. If you use the negative command, you really wouldn't say no vamos a comer, let's not eat. There you would go through that conjugation process that we talked about on the previous slide, and you would say no comamos, no cantemos. We wouldn't say no vamos a comer or no vamos a cantar. All right? So that pretty much sums it up. Let's practice a little bit. See how well you were paying attention here. Okay? Your answers might be a little bit different here as we go through, but we'll work on it. Actividad 1. Esto está en página 272, 272, actividad 1. En el libro, it's Saturday. You and a friend want to get together to do something. When he or she gives a suggestion, you may either accept it or refuse it. Keep in mind, most of these are going to be the same, whether it's an affirmative command or a negative command. Respond with affirmative or negative answers as shown in the model, which is right here. Visitar el museo, to visit the museum. So you can say, let's visit the museum. Or you can say, let's not visit the museum. Okay? The affirmative would be, sí, visitemos el museo. Or you could say, no, no visitemos el museo. Notice here that you could use the command form, you could attach it to the end. If you used a pronoun, sí, visitémoslo, yes, let's visit it. In this context, it's a little bit easier not to use the pronoun because then you don't have to worry about where to tag it. So the affirmative would go at the end. Sí, visitémoslo. Yes, let's visit it. O no, no lo visitemos. No, let's not visit it. This is going to be a little bit easier for you, but if you're super brave, you can try to attach that pronoun to the end of the command if it's affirmative or before the conjugated command if it's negative. So we'll see which one you try to do. So here's what I'd like you to do. Go ahead and pause the video, and I want you to, let's do the odds again. 1, 3, 5, 7, y 9. Do those either on a scratch sheet of paper or in a blank spot in your workbook. Pause the video, and we'll come back in a little bit and check your respuestas. We'll check your answers. Okay, I hope that worked out well for you. Let's check your answers. Número 1. Did you get this spell change on número 1? Because it's a little bit different for the first one. Si organicemos un picnic. Yes, let's organize a picnic. Did you check the Z to C spell change? Remember, when you conjugate a command, when you conjugate a verb, if a Z ends up being followed by an E, you've got to change that Z to a C. So, si organicemos un picnic. Let's organize a picnic. It would be the same thing if you said no, guys. No, no organicemos un picnic. Let's not organize a picnic. Número 3. Another spell change here. Número 3 for you. Si juguemos al tenis. Yes, let's play some tennis. Si juguemos al tenis. Remember that G, when it's followed by an E in the conjugation, we have to add that U to keep the G sound. Si juguemos al tenis. Yes, let's play tennis. Número 5. Si compremos pollo frito. Yes, let's buy fried chicken. That sounds good. Sí, compremos pollo frito. Same thing if it were negative. No, no compremos pollo frito. Número 7. Sí, caminemos por el parque. Yes, let's walk through the park. Sí, caminemos por el parque. Same thing for negative. No, no caminemos por el parque. Let's not walk through the park. And remember, por here can mean through when you have a place like this. So por el parque is let's walk through the park. Y número 9. Sí, salgamos con los otros chicos al campo. Yes, let's go with the other kids to the camp. O no, no salgamos con los otros chicos al campo. And remember this one? Remember that one's a little bit different. I hope you got the salgamos there because we formed the nosotros command. Again, remember, from the regular yo form of the indicative, which for salir is what? What is it? I hope you said salgo, because if you did, then you got the right answer. Salgo. Then we drop the O. We're left with the stem sal. And that, my dear Spanish students, is where we form the imperative, salgamos. Salgamos con los otros chicos o no salgamos con los otros chicos. Okay? I hope you did well on that activity. Again, I hope you marked any corrections or errors in red so that you can ask me questions if you don't understand why you missed what you missed. All right? And that wraps it up for today's lesson. This was 10.3a. That's Chapter 10, Lesson 3a. We reviewed our homework. We went over John 4:34 together. We reviewed our countries, capitals, flags, locations on the map. We talked a little bit about our food vocabulary. And then we introduced the Nosotros Command forms, the softened request. As always, check the lesson plan for your homework. Make sure you get that done before you watch the next video. And good job today. Que Dios les bendiga, clase. Adiós.